Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to MJ Gooner podcast right here for the post-match review. Arsenal 4, Everton 0, and we have completed the revenge. And it's a revenge that we have been long waiting for. I mean, there's still plenty of revenge still need to be done this season, of course. Another prominent revenge that we're still looking for, it's the City game away. But again, I think that game, it's a little bit... I don't think we're going to win that game, to be honest. But somehow, if we end up with a draw against City away, I'm actually happy with that. But let's talk about this game. This game is... it's just pure dominance. We pretty much, dominated them, after the first 40 minutes. And it was a great display all over the pitch. And there's so much to talk about. There, of course, when we first started the game, it's on Wednesday against Everton. Arsenal is looking to get some revenge. And then we have another game on Saturday. And then later on, it'll be a Thursday, Sunday. But of course, if we keep winning our Europa League games, then, we have to play twice a week. And with this Arsenal squad, I think we are still capable, but not to the point where I'm fully, trusting everybody, to do the job. Again, Arsenal still have a long way to go to be established as one of the great teams in the world. Right now, we have a very good team. I wouldn't say great because we still have quite a lot of flaws within our team, within our system. And of course, certain individual players within the team, need to be gone by the start of the next season. And today's game, starting lineup, as expected, knowing that it's going to be the same 11. Again, it's a very famous saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And today is a perfect opportunity for that. Yes, we did play 4 days ago, but you know what? We still need to keep that intensity going. I thought, whatever we did last time with the false nine for Trossard and also Martinelli in the middle, I thought it worked quite well. And today, I just felt like, playing against Everton, we all know what they did to us last time. Of course, the way how they play it was very, it was such a physical battle in the midfield, and we kept losing our duel back then. And today, of course, the only change that had happened, or actually the two changes that we made from the previous Everton game, was the absence of Thomas Partey and also Eddie Nketiah. And I thought that was a very good way to start the game, to be honest. And Eddie dropping to the bench, I think that's a valid reason. I don't think he has been as sharp after the United game. And even though he looks fine against City away at the FA Cup, but other than that, I think what we can see here today is that he's quite limited within his game. I know he's a poacher in the box, fox in the box, but I just don't think it kind of worked out for him recently. And having, Jorginho coming back into the starting lineup again, it's still, it's fine. Like, Jorginho, it's a good player, but of course he only offers, a limited set of skills, attributes to the team. And later on, we still have Thomas Partey, not quite, I don't know if he's 100% fit, but certainly he is, fit enough to, to play a game, and that's what he did. He's on the bench, and I think that was fine, to be honest. I felt like it's okay in a way to kind of put him on the bench and, coming on later on. I know he is going to be playing or get involved with this game at some point in today's game. And Trossard, again, I think the whole false nine system kind of works between Martinelli and also Trossard in the last game. And I thought, to break their Everton defensive line, I think we need a little bit more agility in the middle instead of, a little bit more movement within their defensive line. And today we saw that. We perfectly saw that. Let's talk about, the start of the game. Again, before going to the start of the game, there are quite a bit of news, to be honest. Tierney maybe on his way out. again, I have my full thoughts on Tierney in the last episode. Again, I think he's a great player, but based on how we were playing, I don't think it suits him. And later on, Smith Rowe and also Kivior has played in the under 21 game against Chelsea 2 days ago, and I think both of them got 45 minutes in the bag. Kivior looks very good, very comfortable in terms of his distribution of play. And Smith Rowe, again, still looking very good there. Again, still trying to build up that, match full fitness. We actually do need him in the next few games, to be honest. And yeah, at the start of the game right here, of course, by the way, Gabriel Jesus I'm sure he is very close getting back into his form. Not into his form, but into full training. I think he's still a couple of weeks away. A lot of reports saying that he might be playing for the under 21 for Brazil or Arsenal, either one. They're soon trying to build up that March fitness, and I think he might be able to feature or start in one of those Arsenal games before the international break at the end of March. And all right, let's sit down and talk about the game. I think the first 40 minutes kind of sums up the way how Everton is going to play. They're sitting very tight, very solid in the middle. Defensively was just sublime. Again, we just couldn't really break their lines, and even though we're trying to play from the outer area or outside the box, again, we're still kind of lacking that, final third movement. And it was quite struggling to watch at some point. I felt like Martinelli wasn't quite up to his game. Jorginho wasn't quite up to his game today. But again, I think the main man that we have to rely on is actually Gabriel. Again, he is having a form of his life. And today, again, a very physical battle. He has to be at top-notch performance. And today, he delivered that. In any way, a lot of people might think Martinelli should be the man of the match. But for me, I'll still stick with Gabriel. Because today, he has been immense. Everything in the air, he attacked it. And against Neil Maupay, ooh, what a turd head he is. Arsenal had a bit of a alteration with him, and I wouldn't be surprised that Gabriel might take him out personally at one point in today's game. But don't mind me saying, but I think Gabriel was the best player on the pitch, best player. Arguably, Zinchenko can be up there. Odegaard can be up there as well. Saliba can be up there as well. But oh god, but for Gabriel Magalhaes, when you watch the full game once again, first the full 90 minutes, it was just, when there's a ball coming to him in the air, you thought, okay, that he's gonna win everything, and he did. And I think we barely make any mistake. I think Maupay got a shot on target very early on. But yeah, that was about it. Of course, what you can see Everton was doing, what Sean Dyche is doing, it's kind of sitting at the back every time when we have possession of the ball. Again, Everton seems to not, they don't mind giving possession away, because defensively, I think they have been a much far better team in the first 40 minutes. And I thought this game, it's pretty much determined by... the game's going to be determined by the defensive work from Everton. And it was quite frustrating to watch, to be honest, because I thought, okay, Everton certainly does want to win, because they're currently sitting at third in the last place. I think they're sitting at 18th right now. They lost to Villa last time out, 2-0, I believe so. And again, I think they might be getting relegated by the end of the season. But again, when you look at them on paper, they are not a bad team. They're a good team, but they still need to kind of sort it out within Sean Dyche's system. And honestly, the midfield three that they have was solid. Decore, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and also Onana. And I thought both the the midfield trio for Everton, worked very, very well against Arsenal last time, being able to counter press Arsenal and hit Arsenal on the counter break, and at the same time kind of breaking up play as well. And Iwobi has been, I would say, the best player on the pitch. And honestly, I do miss Iwobi quite a bit because I thought, he might have a future here at Arsenal. Again, I don't think he's going to hit that level as Bukayo Saka, but he is going to be a valuable squad player. And, it's great to see how he developed as a player and as a man as well. And Iwobi, again, I thought it was a little bit of a surprise when he left Arsenal. 40 million from Everton, and it was out of nowhere as well. And honestly, I think it was a good business in the end because Arsenal having trouble selling players in the past, and out of nowhere, Iwobi was gone to Everton for 40 million. That was a very good business. But again, I think there's the conversation about if Everton might be going down this season. I think there are a lot of players up for sale, and Arsenal might be going for either Onana or Iwobi. I think both of them are good players, but we'll see what kind of Arsenal options that they want to choose. But yeah, the first 40 minutes was pretty much on Everton, and there were so many times where, okay, we lost the ball under pressure, Xhaka losing the ball, either our fullbacks lose the ball, Jorginho lose the ball, and I thought, okay, now here comes their pressing. And again, I think there was a chance where Decore on the left-hand side crosses in the middle to Mope, and what a great tackle by Gabriel, just kind of, following Mope, make sure that he is not going to get a shot. It turns out it was a great block as well. I'm sure you guys, if you guys watched the game, especially you guys in the UK, I feel bad for you guys. Apparently, you guys are not televised everywhere in the UK unless you have to stream illegally. But here in Canada, if you guys watched the game, you guys know which tackle I'm talking about. That was a huge tackle. Even though from that angle, I don't think you might be able to surpass Aaron Ramsdale, but I think that was a very, very good block after all. And again, another conversation, but Bukayo Saka and also Milenko. Again, Milenko definitely won the last battle against Saka at the Goodison Park. And today, it is going to be the same thing for him. His assignment is pretty much shutting down Bukayo Saka. And honestly, the first 40 minutes he did, very organized Everton. But one slipped up from Everton was that, we got more spaces suddenly to work on. Zinchenko was everywhere on the pitch looking for that perfect pass. And what he did was he found Bukayo Saka on the inside. I think he was kind of on the right side of Milenko. Again, Milenko was definitely caught sleeping, but Bukayo Saka had so much space. He turned a very clever turn and belts that one in. 1-0 to the Arsenal, and what a great finish by Bukayo Saka. To be fair though, the first instance, I thought he missed that. I thought he missed that terribly because at one point just couldn't really quite see the ball is going. You don't know where the ball's it's projecting, but turns out it's the back of the net. What a great weak of foot for that one. Of course, Saka doesn't always have, the best weak foot that he has, but, today was certainly one of those moments where his right foot, his weaker foot came alive, and it came alive at the right moment. 40th or 41st minute in, finally taking the 1-0 lead that we have been long waiting for. Because I thought if we somehow couldn't find a goal at the back of the net within the first half, Arsenal were going to have, quite a big trouble because, again, it's really hard to break the defensive line, but just that, one lapse of, lack of concentration from Milenko, allowing Bukayo Saka to find the back of the net, which makes everything, which start the momentum going, 1-0. Well, funny enough, Peter Drury was the commentator today, And honestly, I miss having him commentating the game again. He is that type of commentator that provides another level, another emotion to the game. And once Saka hits the back of the net, the way how he commentated would just give me chills. And it was great. I thought it was offside. It might be. I thought it was offside at first because again, when you're playing through a through ball, again, when a man standing right next to you, you always thought that there might be a chance of giving an offside, but turns out he was well onside, hitting the back of the net, and that's how we break the deadlock, 1-0. And I'm very happy for that because again, we've been waiting for a goal. At the back of my head, I thought we might not be scoring any goal in this game based on how Everton was playing. And then later on, again, we're still pushing. Suddenly, fans are cheering, chanting, and kind of pushing the team to another level. All of a sudden, again, the first half, Odegaard was still a little bit, not as sharp as before. Again, his first touch on the ball, it's a little bit lacking. That one was the one that I was talking about or about to talk about. The build up to the second goal. I think we counter-pressed him nicely. Odegaard got the ball, but the ball just kind of bounces away at the back of his heel, and then that's when the extra time board was pulled up, and then the camera was on the 4-minute extra time, and later on the camera panned back to the second goal, and I thought it was, and I was like, oh my god, like we scored a second goal. But then we don't know what actually happened, because on the camera we don't see exactly how it happened. All you know is that Saka was on the floor or was tussling with Idrissa Gana Gueye. Martinelli, great finish right there, through the legs of Jordan Pickford, and the referee, called that an offside. And I thought, okay, you know what? This is the type of refereeing that we need. Yes, on first glance, we all thought it was an offside because it looks like Martinelli was in front of the ball or in front of Bukayo Saka. And I thought, okay, you know what? I took a quick glance because I don't want to watch the whole process because I thought it was offside. At the back of my mind, since I thought it was offside, I kind of turned around. Don't want to look at it because again, there's so much emotion in this game. But then later on, again, I look at the replay, a quick glance at the replay, and I was like, oh wow, okay, that's a good call. I thought that was I thought that was an amazing call, and I wasn't even close to arguing about that. I was like, oh, like they're not drawing the line, how's it an offside, blah blah blah, nothing like that, because I genuinely thought it was an offside. And to myself, I thought, you know what, fair play. If referee was able to deny that goal, I think that's a fair play. But then suddenly suddenly somebody finally drawing the line regardless of the outcome, right? Last game against Leicester, yes, Martinelli might have been offside leading to that Bukayo Saka goal, but the fact that not drawing a line can cause a lot of confusions in the stadium and within the game as well. But right there, turns out when you draw a line, you actually get a much clearer a clearer picture of what actually happened. But turns out, from the camera angle or from the scene or from the screen, you can see that, oh, like Martinelli looks off, but when you draw the line perfectly, the ball was behind. I think the ball was behind. What was it? Oh, Martinelli was behind the ball just by a tiny little inch. That one single little inch makes the difference of the game. And that's exactly what we did. It was perfect. It was a great goal in the end. But the VAR come into play. This is why we need VAR. A situation like this, tight call, you draw the line, no controversy whatsoever, no foul whatsoever. And again, Arsenal were very, very smart. Bukayo Saka attacking the ball. Idrissa Gana Gueye, I don't know what you were doing. You were definitely caught sleeping. That's why he got subbed off. in the second half. Obviously. And you got to give credit to Martinelli as well, kind of double teaming Idrissa Gueye just in case if the ball kind of, landed on Martinelli's feet. That's what we did. It was a perfect goal that we kind of scored because again, it shows a level of teamwork that we need in order to create that goal, and that's what we did. Turns out Martinelli was behind the ball. It was called an onside, and Michael Oliver, of course, when he points towards Arsenal side, and the fans were roaring, and 2-0, and I was like, that's great, awesome. 2-0 in the bag. Going into the halftime was perfect. I think Everton had another chance right before the break, and I thought, okay, all right. Yes, we worked so hard, so hard to get 2 goals. To be fair, the second goal was kind of lucky, more of an individual error. But again, it's pretty much, if we work hard towards it, if we work hard, we're definitely going to get the goal. And that's what we did. We worked hard, we got the goal. Going to the halftime, and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to make myself some breakfast. Try and clear my mind off a little bit because there's a lot of emotion. Again, 2-0 doesn't mean anything at this point. Compared to 10 years ago, when 2-0 up in the halftime, pretty much you already called the game, right? If you dominate the game. But the fact that Everton still have a little bit of fears, in them, a little bit determination in them, and that's why 2-0 actually, still means a lot because we need another extra goal. I did mention that I think a few videos before, where even though if you're 1-0 up in the halftime, doesn't mean that you already won the game. You need the second goal to kill the game right there. Any time in the of course, early in the second half, if you somehow found the second goal, you're bound to win the game. Well, unless you bottle it quite horribly, which we have seen that, many times before. But if you're leading by 2 goals, even though you have a much bigger advantage than having a 1-goal lead by halftime, you still need to score another, a killer goal that we need. And that's what I'm hoping for. And of course, what I hope from the game is like, okay, we're 2-0 up, great advantage. Why not just, score a few more goals if we can, a goal or 2 or 3 or 4, then you know what, put on the subs. We're Bournemouth at home. Again, seems to be an advantage for Arsenal. Bournemouth sitting at 19th at the moment. So we are going to have that, momentum going into that game. And at the same time, it's 2 days. They have 2 full days to rest. And why not kill the game early, put in the subs. Smith Rowe's on the bench today. KVR is on the bench. Why not just, play him, Tierney? Everybody was on the bench. Why not just kill the game early, put on the subs early on, rest the key players, and move on. That's what I was thinking. Second half, I wasn't quite looking at the TV, but I heard Thomas Partey coming on for Jorginho. Again, I think that was, I don't know if it's planned all along, but I thought that was a very good move because we need more intensity in the midfield. At the same time, another 45 minutes for Thomas Partey would be good enough for him to start the next game, or even for Jorginho to start the next game is fine because both of them kind of rotated perfectly. I think Jorginho doesn't have a much greater capacity as Thomas Partey per se, but both of them can do a good job against a much lower table team, and I think that's what we need. It's just that a bit of a rotation. Both of them can do a great job, and Jorginho was fine. Again, like I said, I don't think he produced anything special. He got caught a few times in the middle, but that was the time when you decided to put Thomas Partey on to add the intensity, hopefully looking for a few more goals. And we started the game brilliantly, again, keeping possession. We seem to have the momentum, keep on going and going and going. And Martinelli, again, scoring the second goal for today's game. but there's still quite a bit of a flaw in him. Again, I think he works perfectly in the middle, but when he works on the side, I don't think he has that sharpness as Trossard. Again, Trossard was very quick on his thinking. There were times where Martinelli could have probably take a shot or probably go for a cross, but got caught in between two minds. I think he did that once in the first half, and I think there was a counter attack from Everton. Again, this is something that Martinelli still has to learn, and this is why Trossard did brilliantly on the left hand side for the third goal, because Trossard, once again, when he is in the box, he just need one little glance to kind of like scouter, to scan the area in the box and look for a cross, and that's what he did. There are many times where Trossard knows he has to cross, because there's no way if you don't cross it, you're not creating any chances. And today, on the third goal, again, prior to the third goal, we have been fine. Again, we controlled the midfield very well. I don't remember a specific time where we just kept possession very, very well. All I'm saying. Later on, Trossard, again, a quick turn and run. Again, it's very simple. I think it was Odegaard to Martinelli. Martinelli turned it to Xhaka. Xhaka turned it to what's his name? Trossard. And Trossard, you can see when you look at the replay, he was attacking the box. His head was always looking at Jordan Pickford and also kind of scanning, peripheral vision. Scanning. I think it was Ben Godfrey was chasing after him, but Trossard took that before he took a shot. He scanned. He actually looked at Odegaard, coming from right outside the box, squares that one to Odegaard, and just a very simple finish in the middle, deflects everybody pretty much, and we scored the third goal, and that's pretty much game over at that moment. And this is the difference between Trossard playing as a winger and Martinelli playing as a winger. Again, you can say that I think Martinelli has more pace than Trossard, but in terms of intelligence, I think Trossard is definitely way ahead of Martinelli. And that's how we create the third goal. I think we could have probably created another goal in the first half where Martinelli on the left hand side could have probably go for a cross, but he didn't. At least you create a chance in the middle. And that's exactly what Trossard did. 3 goals, and you know what? We are done. Right? 70 minutes in, we killed the game. I don't think Everton had any chance making a comeback at that point. I thought, wow, we just showed the big guns today, right? I mean, this is the game in hand game that we've been looking for. Again, we have been playing one less game than City pretty much every week, and finally we had this chance to go 5 points clear, which we did. After scoring that third goal, Arteta looked onto the bench, make some adjustment. Xhaka coming off, Trossard coming off, Eddie coming on, Vieira coming on as well. Again, Vieira, I thought he's going to replace Martin Odegaard, but I would understand that Xhaka is being took off that point. And then there was a passage of play. In the middle of 70 minutes, we just keep on passing. Just beautiful football. I don't know how many passes are there, but the whole passage of play was a minute or two, just completely passing the ball around. Everton didn't really want to get the ball. You can see they're like dead in that game, right? And of course, it will be nice somehow that we score a goal. Of course, I wanted Vieira to score a goal. I think there were a few times where he could have probably done that, but he couldn't. You can see that he wasn't actually going for a shot, but instead kind of wanted to like pass the ball. Then again, I think his weaker foot is not as good as, for example, Bukayo Saka in that situation. But there are moments where we could have scored the fourth goal, fifth goal very early on, and later on, I believe. It was Zinchenko on the left hand side, passes in the middle to Eddie, and looking for the first cross. Again, this is what we need. The first cross. You don't need to hesitate or anything. Just look for the first cross, and Martinelli was right there, pokes it home through the legs of Jordan Pickford, and we made it 4-0. It was, sweet. It was sweet as a donut. It was just very nice, to be honest. It's just you haven't had a very dominated game for quite a while with that big of a scoreline. I think the last time we had games like this was probably Nottingham Forest or Brentford away. But today was good. It was a good feeling. I'm just getting goosebumps, and you wanna watch more. You wanna demand more. You wanna completely obliviate Everton. And right after that goal, Zinchenko coming off, KT coming on, loving it. I mean, he has been out of the action for quite a bit. I don't think he played more than 5 minutes in total. And Smith Rowe coming back, replacing Bukayo Saka, playing on the left-hand side. And I felt like he's a new signing because he hasn't been, featured in the league game for so long. The last time he got featured in the league game was against United away. I think so far this season he has yet to make any starts for Arsenal, which was kind of a bummer. We've been needing him for quite a while, to be honest, even though the majority of the results kind of go into our way. But for the past few games, I felt like players like him could definitely contribute more than the other players. And you can see KT, what he was doing was pretty much doing exactly what Zinchenko was doing. Play in the middle, looking for the ball, distributed to the ball, and I think he did fine. I think it was fine in that game. I don't think nothing special, but certainly it was quite worth of a shout that he looks comfortable playing in there. But at the same time, it looks funny because we don't quite see KT playing in the middle, operating everywhere in the middle. I think there was a few times where he kind of dragged on the right-hand side. That's what he did, and honestly, it was fun to watch because it's another side of KT that we haven't seen yet in terms of his game style, gameplay, and that's what he did. I thought it was quite fun to watch. And Emil Smith Rowe had a few bright moments. I think there was a chance where he could have probably put it at the back of the net. Again, he was trying to place it instead of smashing it. Again, I felt like we could have probably scored a goal or two. And later on, I think it was Eddie. I think it was Thomas Partey just chips it in to Eddie. I thought, Eddie should have scored that one. Again, if Eddie struggled to score, find a chance, or trying to take advantage of that chance, then that he is not quite not feeling himself. Because this is the moment where Eddie it's valuable. It's the fact that he's very good against one-on-one the majority of the time. But this time he has so much time and space, but I think he executed very poorly, taking the shot, straight at Jordan Pickford. But later on, Fabio Vieira just blasted over the bar, and I thought we could somehow get a 5-6 goals if we can. But boom, 2 minutes at a time, nothing much happened. But towards the end, it was a little bit shaky. We are having a clean sheet, I believe. If Aaron Ramsdale got a clean sheet, he would be leading in terms of clean sheet over the league. I think over De Gea. De Gea currently has 10, and of course we got a clean sheet today. But the last part of the game, I was like, oh, come on, boys. Yes, I know it was a perfect day. 4-0, and we're certainly going to win this game, 5 points clear, blah, 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 but come on, keep the clean sheet. And we did. It was a good stop at first, and later on, the rebound was all over the place. And Ramsdale, I don't know how he did it, just kind of throws his hand, knocked the ball away. We got the clean sheet, and finally we can move on to the next game. 5 points clear, I believe. So I think right now, I don't know how many points we're ahead. I think we're 58 points ahead of City. Is it? Or maybe, God, where's my phone? Maybe my phone can give me a much better explanation than just kind of talking plainly on the mic. So when you look at the we're 60 points right now. 60 points, 5 points. 5 points away. Not away, yeah, 5 points away ahead of City currently, who has 55 points, and United 49 points right now. But they have a game in hand. But again, United still, I think they are still going to be a very good side for the remainder of the season. I think they're going to, I don't know. They're certainly in the title race, even though it doesn't look like they're in the title race. But I think the team looks very, very good, to be honest. Like, winning the Carabao Cup definitely boosts every players. And later on today, I think they beat West Ham at home 3-1. They were 1-0 down until the 70-something minutes. They score 3 goals, and they're still in the competition. Again, in a way, it's a good thing because you're just trying to, of course, they have the quality, but they do not have the squad depth to keep on going. That's how I feel. And as long as they have more tired legs, for the midweek or in the weekend, which means the chances of them dropping points in the Premier League will be quite high. Of course, I hope that's going to happen, but based on this United team, it's way different than the last year or two. So next game against Bournemouth, again, potentially going 8 points clear if City lose, but I don't know who they're playing next game. Let me have a look right here. The game won't even show me. Actually, let me go back to the Premier League app. So Liverpool won today 2-0. Good for them. Oh, okay. All right. So, Man City is playing Newcastle at home. This is going to be a very interesting one. Newcastle they lost in the Carabao Cup. And they don't have Nick Pope. They're playing they're at home as well. So Newcastle has to do us a favor. They have to do us a favor by either beating them or, taking a draw. I will take that because I hope that game is gonna, go well for us, which means by City dropping points, but for Arsenal also winning their game against Bournemouth. And later on, Chelsea is playing against Leeds United. Oh, this is going to be a very fun one to talk about. I know this is all about Arsenal, but I want to just address about the whole Chelsea situation. Graham Potter was, being compared with Arteta and also with Ten Hag and himself as well. But I don't think you can judge any of them at the moment. Eric Ten Hag is a brilliant manager. Of course, he was inherited with a pretty okay team, but Arteta was inherited with a much worse team than anybody else we can imagine. Socrates, David Luiz, Denis Ceballos. It was not a fun time back then. But I would feel bad for Chelsea if they didn't spend that 500 million. Just put it out there. I would feel bad for them if they didn't put 500 million on players. But they did, and I don't feel sorry for them for whatever they're in right now because, like I said, yes, I understand that you need to sign players, but there's no way you're gonna sign 500. You don't. There's no point. There's no chance that you're signing players worth of 500 million in total and not to win a single league game. And oh my God, so yeah, that's about it. And United, I think they're playing against Liverpool. That's gonna be a good one. Hopefully a draw would be enough. If not, Liverpool can win. It's fine as long we're steering away from United as far as possible. Next game against Bournemouth, another very interesting one. Of course, I don't like to do score prediction because it's not really my type of thing because I don't want to jinx it whatsoever. But in terms of the lineup, there's certainly going to be quite of a few changes here and there in that team. I'm sure Eddie might be coming back on right there. Smith Rowe might be starting. I don't know, maybe on the bench. But Tomiyasu definitely coming on that game. You can tell. I think Ben White pretty much used all his energy today, and I think he had a great game as well. But I'm sure Zinchenko will still start over KT. And in the midfield, I'm sure Xhaka and also Partey would be going back to that same duel as well. And Jesus, I think he still have a week or two before joining the squad once again. But I can't wait for another early game next week. So thank you guys for listening. Wherever you guys are, hope you guys enjoy your day. For nothing Arsenal, and I'll see you guys in a bit.